First, we have to dispel the myth of neutrality. Research is never neutral. It either supports the status quo or challenges it. Even the choice of asterisk, what asterisk to study, is political. This brings us to agenda setting. Who gets to decide what problems are worth solving? Why do we have billions for certain military technologies, but pennies for clean water research? We have to follow the money. Funding reveals the political priorities behind the science. As researchers, we must be aware of whose agenda we are serving. I want you to conduct a beneficiary analysis for every project you touch. Ask the hard question: who benefits from this? Does the community benefit directly? Or are we promising vague trickle-down benefits? That maybe, in 20 years, this paper will influence a policy that might help them. We have to be honest. If the primary beneficiary is the researcher's CV, if I get tenure and you get nothing, the design is ethically flawed. We need to restructure our work to ensure direct benefit. This leads us to data justice. This is a concept that demands fairness in how people are made visible, represented, and treated as a result of their data. We must ensure marginalized groups aren't statistically erased by being lumped into other categories. But simultaneously, we must prevent data from being weaponized. Historically, data has been used to redline neighborhoods, surveil activists, and deny services. We have a duty to ensure our data isn't used to build new weapons against the vulnerable. Closely related is data sovereignty. This tackles the issue of ownership. Who owns the knowledge? We follow the CARE principles: collective benefit, authority to control, responsibility, and ethics. This is particularly vital in the movement for indigenous data sovereignty. Indigenous peoples have the right to govern their own data. They should decide what is collected, how it is stored, and who sees it. We are moving away from the idea that data is a natural resource for academics to extract freely. We need to revisit epistemic injustice. There are two types. Testimonial injustice happens when we give less credibility to a speaker because of prejudice, ignoring a woman's pain report or disbelieving a minority witness. Hermeneutical injustice is subtler. It happens when a group lacks the language or conceptual resources to make their experience understood by the dominant culture, like trying to explain sexual harassment before the term existed. Our work is to correct this. We must actively amplify voices that are usually discounted and help create the language needed to describe their reality. We must constantly check if our work is extractive or generative. Extractive research is the helicopter model. You fly in, take samples or interviews, and fly out. The community gets nothing but noise. Generative research builds capacity. It leaves the soil richer than it found it. It trains local researchers, secures funding for local organizations, or builds new infrastructure. We must focus on the legacy we leave behind. When you are gone, will they be glad you came? Of course, this also encompasses traditional academic integrity. This goes beyond just not plagiarizing text or copy-pasting from Wikipedia. It is about fundamental honesty in reporting results. We avoid self-plagiarism, recycling our own old work to look productive. And above all, we avoid falsification. Fabricating data to fit a hypothesis is the cardinal sin of science. It poisons the well of knowledge for everyone. Integrity means reporting what you found, not what you wished you found. You will also have to navigate institutional power. Universities are amazing, but they are also bureaucracies with their own political and economic interests. You will find yourself in tension. The community needs one thing: time, trust, flexibility. The university needs another: fast publications, grant overhead, strict timelines. The transdisciplinary researcher often serves as a buffer and an advocate. You have to translate the university's demands to the community, and more importantly, fight for the community's needs against the university's bureaucracy. Finally, we'd practice justice-oriented dissemination. Justice implies access. We should not lock our findings behind expensive paywalls that our participants can't afford. We need to publish in languages accessible to the participants, not just high academic jargon. And we need to use diverse formats: policy briefs, videos, town halls, to ensure the knowledge actually reaches the people who can use it. If your research on poverty is only available for $40 a download, you aren't helping. To summarize, Lesson 5.2. Research is an exercise in power. Acknowledge it and use it responsibly. Respect data sovereignty and community ownership, and strictly analyze the beneficiary to ensure the work serves the people, not just your CV. When we align our research with justice, we make it powerful. Thank you.